Morning, guys. Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training, and Steve. Hi, Steve. We just pulled him out of the truck. He takes a little time to get warmed up. Yes, he does. He's really good at his downstays and just being a plop, being a sedate boy, huh? Come on. Yep. Good boy. So with a dog like this, you always working to try to get his mental attitude up and get him in drive, right? Because he doesn't come out of the box in a drivey state, believe me. Good boy. Good. There you go. There you go. Yep. Up. Good boy. Good. Even getting him to take food in the beginning is hard. Right now, he doesn't want to take food. Yep. And that's because he is who he is. Every dog's an individual, as you hear me saying all the time. Yep. Good. Down. Nope. Look how slow. Mr. Molasses. Nope. Come on. Down. Come on. Down. Good. There you go. Good boy. Good. Good. That's my boy. Good. He goes home this weekend as well. I got 2 dogs going home at the end of the week. If anybody's interested in getting a hold of me for the holiday season, you need your dogs taken care of, just want to get them into training. So when you're off traveling or doing something, it's one of the best times to put them in for an inboard training, because you're going to be traveling and doing things, and I work every day is just like any other to me. A lot of times my vacations are the times I'm working, because I want the public, I want the crowds, I want environment, and that's when I work, right? One day is like any other to me. I don't take holidays. I usually wait to go on my vacations after the holidays. When all the zoo is over with and it's done, that's when I'm going to take off, right? Good. Onyx, listen to me. Just got done working Onyx, huh? Steve, good boy, Steve. Yep, good boy, good, there you go. Good boy, good, there you go. He didn't want to take the food, but he says, I'll still work, Dad. Down. Nope, down. Good, there you go. I had to speed that up, but I will as we go along. Remember, this is only a 4.5-month-old puppy going on 5 months. We got a lot of development to do with him. Now, it's a good time to talk about this. I'm kind of having my yak sessions in regards to this. We had a trainer that just came on, and everybody does their little videos, and they yak the screen, or they'll show you, they'll give demos and do their thing. A lot of video goes out with all of us trainers all throughout the LA area, most of us, but there's other trainers all over the place. But he was just mentioning he caught a news show where a dog mauled a 5-year-old child and she died. And this is very sad when things like that happen. And most of the time when it does happen, it's because people forget that a dog is a predatory animal and he's not a human. And they humanize their animals too much, and they start to trust the dog and thinking that they can be around children and all that. And for the most part, they can be like him. He's going to be a very well-developed dog and be good with family and all that. But remember, this dog's root, who he is as an individual, the root of the dog, he's still a dog. He's not a human, okay? And people start to trust their dogs too much, and then maybe a child will have some food in their hand, or maybe a squeaky toy that makes the dog respond, and accidents happen. And you have to understand, it all comes back to the reality that a dog is a dog. He's a predatory animal. He's an animal. He's not a friggin' human. And people start to trust their animal too much and not realize that the dog is still a dog. I can develop this dog to be a very well-balanced, very in-control personal protection dog, and he will be an excellent dog. And not doing protection, actually, believe it or not, a lot of times is more of a liability than if you do protection. The reason for that is you as a person will start to understand how this stuff works and where the dog's head's at. But more importantly, the dog learns when he should and when he shouldn't. There's control factors within how we treat the dog, how we build the dog, what we do with this dog. But it all comes back to the root. The dog is still a dog. It's still a predatory animal, and accidents happen. And when you hear that sort of a story, it just kills you. It just tears you up inside, especially when you're a dog trainer that loves your animals so much. And we know that there's so much misconceptions and lack of understanding from the general public that aren't a professional. This is my life. I eat, breathe, and sleep dogs. I have since I've been 12 years old. It's my whole life, okay? I am a professional. You are not. You're just a person that's learning and growing with your animal, and then you have the tendency to be human, and your perspective being a human is totally different than this dog's, right? And so the accident comes because of you not understanding this and allowing something to happen that should have never happened. That dog should have never been alone with that child. And however it happened, I didn't hear the full story, but just all I need to know is that dog mauled a child and she died, right? I don't need anything else. But you're going to come back to, if you hear the exact story of how it happened, I'm sure that there was a lot of inadequacies on the human's part, and how this ever happened should have never happened. Never trust your dog enough that you can leave the dog with a child. I don't care what dog it is and how well you think that dog is going to be with the child. And they will. They'll show you that they're with a child, and you'll think they'll be the best thing. But accidents happen by virtue of that. When it really comes down to it, the dog is still a dog. The root of this dog is still a cane corso. He's still a Cane Corso, no matter what you think. And I'm talking to this customer now, trying to get him to go towards protection and everything, trying to make him realize there's a lot less liability with a trained protection dog than with one that's just behind the fence and just allowed to be a maniac. And people think that if they don't do protection, that means that dog's not going to be mean. Bullshit. Okay? It's not a matter of meanness that we're teaching this dog. We're teaching the dog to do the job when it's appropriate to do the job. And we understand it so much more because we are going to these levels in producing a finished product that is going to be good with home and family and do all that. But we would never tell, I don't care who the person is. I'm never going to let you not hear me tell you that you don't leave a dog with a child unsupervised, period, right? That's where accidents happen, okay? And it happens all the time, where a dog will scar a child for life just because maybe the child's got food in his hand, and they end up treating the child like a dog. And the reason for that is because that child is a lot like a dog to them, right? He has all those instincts, and there's no speech as much. You know, you're talking a baby, you know, 1 to 5 to 7-year-old. Things like this happen, right? There was one story with a law enforcement a few years ago, and the officer was out doing his thing, working the dog real heavy, went home and wasn't thinking about it, and let his dog out in the backyard, and the child went into the backyard when the father was in the shower. And the child lost his leg, and I don't know what happened after that, but it was a pretty traumatic story. It was very sad, and it shouldn't have happened. Okay, and it was only because the man was tired and wasn't thinking, and accidents happen, right? And it wasn't the dog's fault. It's because this situation was allowed to happen because of life. You know, how many times do you hear about dogs dying in cars because idiots leave their dogs in the car and the car heats up, right? So these things happen because of humans. It's not the dog's fault. It never is, right? It's always the human. We have the ability to think. We have the ability to know. Okay, and if we don't do that and take responsibility, that's where accidents happen, right? So enough said, and I'll go ahead and sign off right now. I get a little bit emotional with things like this, and it's because this is my life. I care about it, and I hate to hear stories like that. I really do. And kudos to the gentleman that put that on his feed. I saw it right away, and it just tore me up. You know, things like this shouldn't happen. And if you have the right attitude and you have the right respect for a dog being a dog and not being a human, and you don't humanize your dog, you'll be a lot better off. Doesn't mean I can't love my dog. You see me loving my dog all the time. Okay, my dog sleeps with me. I've got a Malinois Joker that sleeps on my bed. He's with me 24/7. Okay, and I give him a lot, but he's still a friggin' dog. He's not a human, right? And I treat him accordingly, right? All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training. See a professional. Do it right. Don't just get the dog and put him in the backyard. Go talk to somebody that knows and get the help that you need to learn and grow that relationship with your dog. Good boy. Talk to you guys later. Huh, Bubbies, huh? Yay. Steve says, I gotta go potty, Dad. Talk to you later, guys.